Record. We're live.
Okay. I want to know a little bit about Danny's. So, Danny, are you talking to us via your phone right now or your iPad?
No, iPad.
Okay. And then you're recording locally through your iPad or through a different device?
I'm recording on a Tascam.
Okay.
It's like
It's
one
sound
of those digital.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You think I don't know what it...
Well, that's a Zoom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that encased in carbonite?
Is it more expensive than a Tascam?
I think so.
Eat your heart out, Danny.
Oh, dude, it's got the dual penetrating.
Should I take these off? I mean, I can take them off and I don't really use them, but then it has like a hole there.
Yeah. I don't know. I never took that off mine.
You can.
Yeah, I
Looks
guess
cool.
so. Let me see. Hold
Yeah.
on, let me see.
And I don't
It'd be
ever...
cool if they were like little robotic arms.
Yeah.
I don't really ever foresee myself
I think that probably there's like another like attachment that you can put on here, if I had to guess.
That's cool. Okay.
I wouldn't take it off.
Yeah, I'm leaving it on.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Somebody is asking what they are watching, and
Yes.
We don't have an answer for you.
Yeah. You want to set this up?
No, that was it. That's it.
That's
I
it.
don't know.
That's it. Yeah, I guess you'll have to find out.
You sure will.
Don't go anywhere.
Yep.
All will be revealed.
In good time.
Yeah.
In
All right.
good time.
You wanna hit the recorder? Well,
I already hit
Yeah,
record.
I'm recording.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's get into
Start
it.
up the machine.
All right, here we go. First News AF of 2022. Did you check out the best of News AF last week?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch? I shared a clip from the pre-show from a couple of weeks ago in the as a closing credits scene.
Yeah, I did like that. Which what was it? I forgot, but I did.
It was Danny. Danny talking a couple of weeks ago about how he was helping his parents move into the Covey house.
Yes, I do remember that. We have that story. It's on there, Danny.
Oh, good. Of the misshapen wiener.
Yeah.
On Adam.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the funniest part was that, like, right before Danny goes into that, he's like, "All right, we got to keep this tight today." Proceeds to tell a 5-minute story.
Well, don't ask me questions.
All right. You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Sestrino, back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for January 4th, 2022, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual.
Yeah, that's right. First News AF of 2022 here with the News AF team here to kick off another fantastic year of 2022. Back with us after spending some relaxing time over the holidays. He's pickleball's top influencer, America's dad, Father Nature. It's Tyson Apostle. Tyson, how are you?
Doing great. Good to be back home. Good to be back in the routine of doing News AF every Tuesday. And just the same old routine where you're at home, regret not working out, but don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So I'm happy to be here. Had a harrowing and also celebratory couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm here. Somebody in the chat's asking what's in the box behind me. That is my Christmas present from Rachel.
Yeah. What is it?
A pizza oven.
A pizza oven.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Delicious.
It's exciting.
Yeah. I haven't tried it
no
yet.
No exercising in a pizza oven, dude.
I didn't say no exercising. I said I just regret not exercise. I am doing some exercise.
Yeah. How does the pizza oven work?
You cook pizzas in it.
Mm-hmm.
You hook it up to like a propane tank thing outside.
Oh, it's an outdoor.
Whoa. It's an outdoor one.
Yeah.
You slide the pizza in. You make the pizza first, slide it in. It only needs like 90 seconds of extreme heat.
Wow.
cook that thing all the way through.
And you don't even need the propane tank, right? If you get out there on the right day, you could just like leave it out there and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
just put the pizza in, right?
Yes. So, yeah, we got the propaneless version where you don't need any fuel, as long as you just have it baking in the sun.
Yeah, for the whole day.
Arizona sun. Yeah. It's
wait, did I hear you right? Did you say it'll cook a pizza in 90 seconds?
yes.
Like
You
some
heard me right.
byproduct of fusion reactors. They're like, we can't perfect fusion, but we found a way to cook a pizza in 90 seconds.
But it's crazy because it's cold fusion, so actually the pizza doesn't even come out hot, but it's thoroughly cooked, which is
Wow.
science. Yeah.
My kids would
Amazing.
love that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, well, you'll have to let us know when you try it.
I will. I'll do a whole Instagram story probably for you.
Okay. And was that
So-
something you wanted for Christmas? Did you ask for a pizza oven?
Nope.
Rachel just knew you.
It remains to be seen.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see how the pizza comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, generally what I'm most famous for is buying pizza.
One of your
Right?
top
A
things.
well-bought pizza.
Yeah, one of my top things is buying pizza. Yeah. And then, so yeah, pretty much I think Rachel wanted homemade pizza. And it's honestly, it is a fun family activity.
Yes.
Like to get the girls out there putting toppings on their own pizza and then watching them not eat their pizza that they made is just like
It takes a lot of work to get people to go outside in Arizona, especially in the summer, right?
No, you just need a pool in the summer, and in the winter it's just beautiful all the time. You can't not want to be outside in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny, how was your holiday? Danny Bryson.
Nightmare.
Go on.
Well, first of all, without
Uh-huh.
News AF, I'm like that part in Space Odyssey 2001 where he's just like, everything's crazy. There's no sense of time. Right before he ends up in the bedroom with his older self or younger self, I can't remember which. It's like the only thing I have to tell me what time it is and where I am is News AF.
The only
Yes,
constant
that
in your
thing.
life.
The Tuesday.
I'm tumbling through Christmas holidays, head over
Yes.
heels.
Sure.
I've got too many family things going on. And I've got people staying at my house. My wife is sick. She's getting everybody else sick. She sneezed directly on my face, and I felt a water droplet go into my nostril. And I knew
Wait.
that it was over. I was done.
Who infected you? She sneezed up your nose?
I was laying on the side in bed, and she was just obviously not 6 feet away, and she coughed all the way across the bed. And
that
I
was your first
felt
mistake,
like-
Danny. You should have been social distance.
Yeah.
Your house.
Also,
I
if you would have practiced abstinence like you've always been taught.
I would
Separate
be-
beds
I
would
wouldn't
cure
be
this, Danny.
dealing with this.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the droplet go in my nose.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're gonna die.
Disgusting.
You're gonna die.
It was then that's when the clock started ticking, and I knew that my turn. The bell was tolling for me.
Yes.
Enough.
Yeah.
Now I'm sick.
Yeah.
Everybody's
this-
sick.
Well, lots.
True.
Lot,
Everybody
yeah.
is.
That's what's going on right now. I mean, you could do the whole News AF, just all be all COVID. Everybody's testing positive. Everybody has it. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay, and hopefully, this is runs its course.
Yeah, I've tested negative multiple times, but how can I not be positive? Like that's what we had tickets to go see Bill Burr, and we just can't. We sold those. We didn't get to go. Because I was being responsible, even though I tested negative, I still didn't feel great. So, and yeah. And then we also had the airline debacle, where we decided to avoid American Airlines this holiday season because we were like, American Airlines.
New Year's resolution.
It's a New Year's resolution. I will pay double to fly Delta because with American Airlines, you have a 75% chance of getting screwed somewhere along your route.
Yeah, that's their
Delta,
motto, right?
That's their motto. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Delta is a very low 25% chance of getting screwed somewhere along your route. So I'm like, well, the odds are in my favor, at least on Delta. American, your odds are not in your favor. So the day we're supposed to leave Utah, Rachel's like, you should check the flight just to be sure. The flight gets pushed from 3 p.m. to like 6 p.m. We're like, okay, that's garbage, but at least they let us know before we get to the airport. American likes to let you know when you get to the gate. They're like, actually, it's 12 hours. Yeah. I know that you're supposed to be boarding right now, but we just barely updated it. Check your phone, please. We don't want to bear the bad news. So then throughout the day, the flight just kept getting pushed more and more and more. And Delta, they like American, if you get on their Twitter account and you have a blue check mark, you can just DM them and be like, hey, you guys suck. And at least they're like, sorry. But that's like all you get from them. But at least you get like a response. Delta, I tried it and they're like, oh, we have a new system where you just message us through Apple Chat or whatever. And so you message them, but then it takes an hour and a half in line to have somebody respond to you. But then once they respond, you can have a open dialogue, but it's still completely unhelpful, as you can imagine. You're like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, the plane's not there. I was like, yeah, I got that part. What is happening and when can I expect? And I learned a little hack.
Oh,
ooh,
Delta.
life hack.
Okay. Yes.
So if you're flying Delta and you happen to open this portal, this messaging portal through your phone, porthole,
I like that.
Yeah.
where you get, it's like it'll be an hour and a half till somebody contacts you. But once somebody starts texting you back, do not ever acknowledge that the chat is finished, and you can keep that portal open for the entire duration until you finally get on your plane.
You're still talking to the people at Delta?
Yeah.
You left that porthole open?
You leave it open. So the first time I closed it and then I got delayed again. So I opened it again. It took another hour and a half. And then after that, they were just like, is that everything I can help you with? Ghost them. Don't answer. And then they can't shut it down until you've acknowledged that. So I just left it open. And then when it got delayed again, I just went back to the old chat, was like, hey, what's going on now? And they're like, oh, you're still with us, sir. Thank you. Anyways, here's what's happening with your flight. And you can just leave it open all day long. I also like to think that in some small way, it's helping deteriorate and corrode the business of Delta from the inside out.
Or at least overheating their servers.
Correct. Something. Yes. It's something, doing something detrimental to their operations.
Mm-hmm.
So, that happened. And
can I just ask what is the advantage for you that you just get to like I feel like that that you're delayed. Yeah. Does the person that you're chatting with provide any useful information that helps you in any way?
So I opened it and I said, hey, what's going on? And they said, oh, the plane you're supposed to be on is stuck in Kansas. So at that point I said, okay, I'm going to keep
Should I drive to Kansas?
Should I drive to Kansas to get in the plane?
Mm-hmm.
So my thought was, if they can tell me when that flight from Kansas leaves to go to Salt Lake, I'll have a good idea of when we're going to get on the plane. But none of that mattered. No.
Yeah.
Basically, when you are trying to get into a conversation with customer service from the airline, what you're trying to do is just waste as much of the airline's resources as possible, because they've done
that's what they've done to you. Yeah, yes. It's payback.
And so that's all you're doing is just like, I leave the chat open. I'm slow to respond. I have weird questions. I ask the same questions. I put the phone in my pocket and forget about it and then open it up. I'm like, oh yeah, you're still here. And they're bouncing between 100 chats anyways. That's not a big deal to them. But that's it. And we ended up getting on, I didn't even know it was a thing, but a very convenient red-eye flight from Salt Lake to Phoenix, where if you're a businessman with a business meeting in the morning, let's say you have a business meeting in the morning in Phoenix at 5 a.m., you can hop on your 4 a.m. flight from Salt Lake and get an hour of shut-eye before you got to be in your meeting in Phoenix.
Okay, and that's what you took?
You had no meeting. You had no meeting to attend to.
I had no meeting to attend to. There's not really a red-eye connection. There shouldn't be a red-eye connection, but we didn't end up leaving Salt Lake till almost 2 a.m. and got the kids home in bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
The wonders of modern travel.
Yeah.
It really is. If I would have rented a car the second they delayed my plane the first time, I would have been home well before and within a comfortable hour of. And so now my old thing was anything further than 5 hours is a flight. That's changed in modern flight times.
Yeah.
In the inconvenience of Delta and American Airlines just screwing everybody over, it is now 12 hours. Anything shorter than 12 hours, you drive.
Okay. All right. Well, hold that thought, Tyson. Okay. Because that is a great segue.
Okay.
Travel nightmares all over the place. That's what people thought. Okay, less than 12 hours. All right, this is a drive. I'm going to hop on I-95 to get home from the holidays.
Mathematically, it's quicker to drive in general if it's 12 hours or
If I took American Airlines, 75% chance that I was going to get hosed. But let me hop in the car, get on good old I-95, and let me get home from grandma's house. But so many people, I'm sure you, everybody's heard about the stranded motorists on I-95 in Eastern Virginia on Monday night into Tuesday. People were stranded on I-95 across a 50-mile stretch for up to 12 hours. One person, 19 hours after the drive, still stuck.
The cause, I believe, was 6 or 7 semi-trailers, right? Into an accident. A wall of trailers.
The airplanes of the highways.
Right.
Yeah, they are infuriating, and I do not disagree.
Any reports of cannibalism? Or
not yet.
Got close. Not
yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was watching the news this morning with my children, and we got into a little bit of like, well, what would we do, Dad? And I did not know, because you're up against, you could run out of gas. You are up against that you have no food. You're up against that. Do I go to the bathroom? Do I have to go to sleep? A lot of factors there when you are stuck in one spot for 10, 12 hours.
Nah, you can do a lot of that stuff. You can go to the bathroom. You just open the door, get out, take a dump, take a piss. Everybody understands it's an emergency situation. That's it. And then it freezes, so the smell probably isn't horrendous.
So do you make your way into the woods? Is this like in between?
Nope.
Yeah.
You just are there because you got to stay as warm as possible, keep the car as warm as possible. You want to be outside the car as little as possible, taking a dump right there on the side. Everybody can see. Doesn't matter. It's like when you play Survivor and you're like, before a challenge, you're like, I got to go poo. And they're like, okay, go. And it's like, but you guys are all watching. And they're like, well, them's the breaks. You're like, oh, okay.
You might be able to get a twofer and have, relieve yourself to like a Ziploc bag and then put it on your neck to relieve some of the tension, kind of like a hot, a hot pad like people
hot
do.
Corn bag. Yeah. So
should we travel? Okay, here's what I need to know. What do we need to update in our emergency kit for the car? So Danny is saying Ziploc bags is something that we need to have.
Susanna Perez in the chat is saying that just opening the door and taking a dump right there on the side of the road isn't a thing. That's not. I think that in this situation, every car stuck there is doing something like that, and it's forgivable in that moment. And then you don't have to drink piss because you got snow. So you bring the snow in, melt it, eat it, whatever, to stay hydrated.
Okay.
So you got water.
Oh, gosh. Things were desperate. It sounds like.
Food, 19 hours. You can go without food, but hopefully there's some snacks somewhere. And maybe
you gotta be bringing snacks on the road trip.
Yeah, you already
already did it wrong if you left for the road trip and didn't bring snacks.
That is true. And then sleep. You gotta huddle together and try and get some sleep. But like, if you don't have a full tank of gas to turn the car on, warm it up, and then turn it off again, or
weaker family than you, and then evict them from their fully gas car.
Oh, you think so? You think that you're gonna do the what is that called? That movie before?
I think eventually
the
it's gonna get Mad
Highway
Max out there.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. What's the title of the film before the Thunderdome in the 70s? The Highway Warriors.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Road Warriors.
Road Warriors.
Road Warriors. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Road Warriors. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Danny, have you ever been stuck for a long period of time in any of your travels?
Not in a car. I mean, I've slept in a lot of cars, and I've
Mhm.
slept in front seats, back seats, but never stuck on a
I
highway.
and this is probably kind of ironic. One time when Rachel and I drove for Thanksgiving back to Utah from Phoenix, we got stuck. They closed the entire highway on us and flipped us back around and sent us back to the last town we came through.
Mhm.
And we had been, it took us, it's an 11-hour drive from Phoenix to where we lived in Utah. It took us, I think 23 hours total to get home rather
Yeah.
than the 11, over double. And it was, they flipped us around. We went to this town and I called every motel in the town and it was already booked. So people were ahead of me in that. And so we sat in the diner and just like hung out till 3 a.m. And then somebody ran and was like, the highways are open. And then everybody ran into their car and
Mhm.
it ended up continuing. But we were able to get out and park and hang out somewhere warm. So yeah.
That would make a great moment in a movie when the person runs in. She's
Mhm.
open.
Yeah.
She's open.
The highway.
Children,
it
everybody
was.
cheers.
There was a
Yeah.
part of me when, because I could see they were closing it. There was highway patrol with their flickering lights, and then there were snowplows going past the highway patrolmen to clear the route. And I was like, if I drove around the highway patrolman and just followed one
No.
of these guys, there's only one of him trying to close the highway. He's not ditching the closure of the road to chase me down. What's
Mhm.
my play here? There was a moment where I was like, I think I'm above the law in this situation. Maybe I could get Danny. You think I'm getting busted?
No, I think that's the start of the end right there.
Mhm.
He has to, he takes out his gun. Everybody else starts to think they can do whatever they want.
Okay.
Then next thing you know, it's
Like the
chaos.
end of civilization.
Yeah, basically the starting of so many post-apocalyptic movies. But luckily, I think out there in Virginia, none of that happened. Order was kept, probably by the weather more
We
than
didn't
by
hear
the
about
law.
it. Yeah.
No. It looked cold. I saw lots and lots of pictures. Seemed like it was snow covered. And just to go over and mob the car next to you might be too cold of a prospect. Even
Mhm.
if you were kind of hungry and they were eating big, fat, juicy burgers.
Yeah. So you think that there might have been like a family that had snacks, and then you think that some of the other families went to go raid the other cars?
Yeah, I considered it and then looked outside and realized they were wearing tennis shoes. It was like a foot of snow, it looked like. And it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, we can eat shoe leather. I'm not
Mhm.
going out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am curious how many people actually did defecate. I don't think was as prevalent as Tyson believes. I don't think people were just opening their doors like all over the highway.
No, but I think if you got to poo, you got to poo, and you open and poo.
Yeah, but
if it happened, I think a lot of people aren't bragging about it.
Yeah, but I also think
Kept
that
it
maybe
hush hush.
in
Yeah.
these moments you have travel constipation. You're
Yeah.
out of your element. You're not at your home throne. There's a lot in the chat. The chat is going off with all these. I'm assuming a lot of these are Canadians giving everybody some advice.
Pizza oven, yes.
Adam says in the winter, never have below a half tank of gas.
I agree with that. That is a good common sense approach to winter travel.
Yeah, and then somebody else is saying that you always want to have a roll of paper towels and a regular towel in the car.
Yeah, I do. I actually
then-
do keep a regular towel in my car just due to the sweatiness of myself.
And then Dr. Katz again says keep matches and a lighter inside the car as well.
Wow.
Yeah. He also says always keep Oreos in the car. I guess Oreos never go bad. Protein bars. People are, my car is literally always on zero when it comes to gas. And I am praying I make it to my next location without running out of gas. And that's just like how I live my life.
See, my car is all by default. I always keep it or try to keep it above half. That is a rule I have read a long time ago, and I do believe in it. The other thing is my car is littered with food and clothing. The worst thing that could happen is this the day after I clean it because I'm forced to. Otherwise, I think I could support a family of 5 to 7 with warm clothing, beef jerky, candy, half consumed soda cans. I could do that.
See,
I'm well
people are
prepared.
saying space blankets in the car as well, bottled waters in the trunk. There's a lot of like these techniques that I know of, and they do make common sense, but especially like the half take of gas, it's like, you really expect me to go to the gas station twice as much as I have to?
Yes.
No.
In the
no,
winter, if you're
no,
driving through snow,
Nope.
yes.
No, stay out of my face.
Yeah, because you live in Arizona. You have the luxury of never having to deal
I used to live in
with
Utah.
snow. Yeah, and you're lucky to have made it alive through your years in Utah. It sounds like you were completely reckless.
I was. No,
Isn't
not
this-
completely, because I always had a pair of skis in the trunk and I always had a bicycle in the trunk. So,
So you could get away if you needed
yes,
to.
yes,
Yeah. Did we hear any reports of anybody abandoning their vehicles on I-95?
I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. I definitely would have just left and come back.
But you have to get it off the side of the road because now you're the next 19-hour obstruction.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
at that point, you're so furious with the way things turned out that you think you're teaching everybody a lesson.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they'll
mean,
teach you a
this
lesson
is-
when they smash in your windows and take all their dumps inside
Yeah,
your
I guess
car.
if you have like an old beater, maybe that's an option. But yeah, for
Right?
Tyson, this is the same as like, okay, I'm going to jam up Delta Airlines'
Mm-hmm.
chat line because that they did this to me.
Yeah, is that
Same
not
idea.
standard? Is that not a standard way of thinking?
Yeah, it's an eye for an eye. Okay.
Yeah, I should have had.
It's
I
Old
should have tweeted
Testament.
out everybody call the Delta Hotline's number at the same time so that we had like 70,000 people. Man, that would have been great.
Mhm.
There's got to be a way that us humans can all come together to bankrupt American and Delta.
Well, let's
And
bankrupt the spam callers first.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't think
I mean,
they
up
operate
to
on
10
money.
calls of the day.
I think they operate on power, Danny.
They do it for clout. Yeah.
They do it for clout. They do not do it for money.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that the airlines do provide a public service. I think that they could certainly do better.
Yeah. Yeah. So who does a public service?
I think the airlines. I think they're a net
No.
positive. No.
I think they used to.
Mm-hmm.
They used to. Now they're just in the business of screwing people and pretending like they're not.
Whoa.
We got home and
Whoa.
Rachel was like, "So what's our next trip?" I was like, "I can't go to an airport for like 6
Ever.
months unless somebody is paying me a premium, because I refuse to give any of these garbage companies my money, and I cannot deal with the stress of knowing I'm probably going to have my flight canceled.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Okay.
I'm too fragile."
All right. Anybody from the airlines is listening. Look what you did to Tyson. This man used to love to travel.
Broken him.
You broke him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just have no trust. I just like, I use
Trust has been broken.
Trust has been broken too many
Mhm.
times.
Okay. Well, hopefully everybody out there on I-95 got home safely and found something in the fridge for them to heat up, which brings us to this next study, a survey.
Mhm.
What
Ooh.
food makes the best leftovers? Okay. This was
That's
a
easy.
study that was done. What is it, Tyson?
It's pizza.
Pizza. No.
Oh,
2,000
Wait.
people. 2,000 people were
Thai food.
asked.
Thai food, Thai curry or Indian food. Those just like marinating in their own sauce.
people
over
are going to say something stupid like roast beef.
Roast beef.
I don't know.
Prime rib.
If pizza wasn't number one, then it's got to be something stupid.
Pizza was number 2. Meat, just generic meat, is 62. So maybe that could be the roast beef contingent.
Let me tell you the problem with reheating meat, at least the way I do it. It is no longer the meat I was introduced to when I
Yeah.
reheated it.
How do you do
It's
it?
a
Do you just
different
lay on
kind of
top of
meat.
it? Do you just lay on top of it till it warms up, or how are
Yeah,
you heating
body
this up?
heat. No, that would be a better way to warm it up, because I'm going to say something, and it's probably going to offend true meat lovers. I put it in a microwave where it successfully dried out within
Mhm.
45 seconds and becomes
then
beef
you-
jerky.
And then you eat it.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, you've never been known for your palate.
No.
Well, Tyson, I'm surprised that Danny doesn't know the answer for the number one food that the 2,000 people said was the top leftover.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
What is it, Tyson?
It's turkey dinner.
No.
It's Thanksgiving.
That would be so gross. It's an item, right? It's not.
Yeah,
a
it's
meal.
an item. It is Danny's beloved soup, and they actually call it soup/stew. Stop it with the stew.
But I did have reheated
Stew.
soup yesterday. It was so good. It was chicken noodle. So I do kind of agree with that. But I think pizza's number one. Not even a discussion.
Better
Put
than
it in
stew?
the oven. Oh, 100% better than
Did
stew.
you ever? Have you ever had that green chili stew at that place on Center Street in Provo? That's so good, Danny. They still do that.
I don't know if I saw stew on the menu, I'd be like, that's an item for me. Give me
Yes,
some
for
stew.
Yeah, stew.
I like what you said about
Soup,
stew.
yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Tyson, could you reheat pizza in the pizza oven?
Yeah, I bet you could.
Mhm.
I usually just do put it in the microwave, but I've also put it on the stove before. You can put it in your frying pan.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
what
good.
I do.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I put it in the oven.
No.
You can put it in the oven too, but if you on the frying pan, it really
I
keeps
didn't know
the
that.
crust crispy.
Mhm.
There's a lot of ways to do it, but it's hard to screw up reheating a pizza. They're all worthwhile.
Microwave's the worst, though.
The microwave is the
worst.
worst, but
Yeah.
it's the
It's
quickest
pretty
and
gross.
easiest. Yeah, I'll
it's
still eat it.
It's the
If
worst.
if the pizza's good enough, though.
I
even
mean,
the
what you could
microwave-
do, really, Danny, if you could get started in the microwave, I prefer the air fryer, and then go to the frying pan. It's a 2-step process because you need to heat the top, and then you need to re-crisp the bottom.
Wow,
Just like that's how they do it in Italy.
that's a whole. Yeah, that is how they do it.
That's how they do it in Italy. Yes, yes.
It's quite the
But
process.
reheating the soup, I guess, is easy.
Yeah, that's microwave only.
Yeah,
or you can put it
but-
on the stove.
But you better cover that soup, especially if it's a creamy
It'll
or tomato.
explode.
I'm the only one
inside
that
the
believes in that
microwave.
here.
Yes.
My family put it in for 3 minutes, and then
Mhm.
it'll be like a confetti party inside
Yeah.
the microwave, just hanging droplets of tomato basil everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how convenient! None of them clean the microwave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Catherine Catherine in the chat did also say one of the most popular ways to consume leftover pizza is cold.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that'll
Some people
work.
can stomach that.
You can't, Danny?
Dude, come on. Unless I had to, like if I was stuck on I-95
Yeah.
due to massive accident.
I mean, you should
I might
probably just
consider it.
order Domino's
No.
before you leave on I-95.
But if you're on I-95 and you're with a car, why don't you just heat that pizza up on the engine block, bro?
I know,
Somebody
right?
will steal it. Somebody will steal your pizza, especially if you have the hood
Pizza?
open.
Body
Yeah, you
heat.
can't
Right.
see what's
What
going
about
on.
Danny's body heat?
Yeah,
That's how he
Danny
does his
could-
meat.
Then it's going to be all sweaty.
Yeah.
Can't
Salt.
have one without the other.
Wait,
You can have the
wait,
body
can't you
heat.
towel off first?
Yeah, towel
I
off.
do
You
have
got
a
your
towel in the
Yeah.
car.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what the towel's for. To towel
Mhm.
off while I have 2 slices of pepperoni under each armpit,
Yeah.
doing like some aerobics.
Mm-hmm.
Get it up to nice room temperature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soup, most popular leftover out there.
Doc
I thought
called you
else
out,
was on the
Danny.
list.
He said you took cold pizza skiing before,
Yeah.
and
I
how
didn't
did
say
he
I
know?
wouldn't eat it. I said I just don't prefer it.
Danny's
If I
shared
had
that
the
story
option
before.
to eat it at
Mhm.
home, I wouldn't just take it out of the fridge like a wild animal,
Mhm.
gnaw on it. Rob, what else is on the list? I'm curious.
Yes, rice was also on the list.
Yeah, right.
Potato,
okay.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the headline was that pizza was not number one. That was what the people were making a big deal about.
Yeah, that is.
What's
And
the
it
secret?
was- Soup/stew.
Ugh, gross. What's the secret to reheating rice? I feel like I do it wrong and I just end up with really dry rice.
Yeah, I think you got to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
With like what, a saran wrap?
I don't think you should put saran wrap in the microwave.
No, you shouldn't. That'll melt onto there. But
Well,
you just have to put
obviously-
like a little lid or something over it to keep the moisture in. as
Moisture.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I do it
Yeah,
wrong.
it's in a bowl. Put another bowl on top.
There you go. There
There you
you
go.
go. Yep.
Boom.
No, I know.
Maybe
Faith
put
in
a
the
drop
chat
of
says,
water in there.
Yeah, some people put drops of water in there. I don't like that because my nightmare would be watery rice.
Mhm.
2 life hacks and 1 news AF.
At least we're not even done yet, Danny.
We're not
Okay.
even done yet. Okay. All right. Did we ever talk about before the saga of Spencer Eldon, aka the baby that was on the cover of the Nirvana album Nevermind?
I don't
The
know
most
if we
famous naked child.
Yes.
the most famous little ding dong. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I did see the headlines for sure. He lived in fame for a little while.
Right.
And kind of piggybacked off of that. And then all of a sudden he got mad about being on there and tried suing.
Well, did he get mad or did he talk to the strawberry
lawyer.
Pop-Tart type attorney?
Hint of vanilla guy.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because that Spencer had been living off the Nirvana teat for some time after that he was paid on several occasions to do photo shoots. I believe he has a tattoo of Nevermind on his chest. But then recently he was part of a lawsuit to sue the estate of Nirvana for sexual exploitation and child pornography.
Whoa.
And he has suffered
charges.
lifelong damage from having his naked body plastered on the album cover.
He knows that Kurt Cobain is no longer with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he got paid $50, or his parents did, or something super low around that area for that original photo shoot.
Yeah, but that was in the 90s, dude. $50 in the 90s.
I'm not saying he's owed anything, by the way. I'm just saying that's one aspect.
Well, I think and he's like going after one of the dollars. I'm not sure if there was 49 more where that came from. He's trying to fish for a dollar. I mean, look, forget the naked baby thing. Who cares? What I want to know is, did they throw a baby in a pool?
Yeah. You know what?
I mean, I think that if I was this man's lawyer, I'd say, excuse me, my client was thrown in a pool as a baby that he
most
suffered.
Most probably by his own parents.
By his parents. Do you know what this band made my client's parents do? He loved Kurt Cobain so much that Kurt Cobain said, throw your baby in a pool, and he did it.
Yeah, so it's either this Spencer character should either be suing his parents.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He needs to get the boxes of porn lawyer to represent him.
Yeah, you think that's the guy?
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy. That lawyer who got that kid all reimbursed for all the porn his parents threw out. That's the lawyer he needs to sue his parents.
Okay. The judge in this case has thrown out the case. According to Nirvana's lawyers, this claim that the photograph on the cover is child pornography is on his face, that is not serious. They added that anybody who owned the album would be guilty of felony possession of child pornography.
Even if you bootlegged the album for free off of
okay, yes, no, you would be fine if you went on Napster and downloaded the album. You would not be in possession of the album art unless when you clicked on the file,
you got the album art.
It had the album art.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, I think that this was wise. I think. I don't think that there's no grounds for Spencer here, but I think he lived in seemingly fine circumstances with it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Even celebrated it to the point to then be like, actually, I think I want money for it.
Yeah.
Like I think the judge was wise.
The Nirvana legal team reminds us that he has reenacted the photograph in exchange for a fee many times.
Yep.
He had the album title tattooed across his chest. He appeared on a talk show wearing a self-parodying nude-colored onesie. He has autographed copies of the album for sale on eBay, and he has always used the connection to try to pick up women. How do they know this?
Hey,
I mean,
wanna
not
see
for
my
anything.
Wanna
Not
see
for
my
anything.
wiener?
Probably
Yeah.
one,
Well,
one of
you probably
Ashley.
already have, ma'am.
Yeah. Ashley
What?
Madison, his Ashley
Yeah.
Madison account.
Yeah.
One of
How
the
do you
10?
pick up women off of, hey, I was the baby from the Nirvana video or
Yeah.
the album cover?
I'd
I
like to see
mean-
how many successful attempts he's had of
Mhm.
picking up women with
I
this.
mean, it's still such an iconic album and album cover that I think a lot of generations know that. Because I originally was like, I mean, you're really like pigeonholing like the generation that really is familiar with that, but you still see that album cover
Mhm.
around.
Well, he probably dates
Yeah.
older women too.
Uh,
Because they can appreciate the album.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see where this goes from here. But as of now, this case has been thrown out of court. I feel like we do not get a lot of cases on News AF where the case is thrown out by the judge. We
No.
usually
No.
talk about these cases are rewarded in handsome rewards for the people that bring them to the court.
Yeah. So
Very
maybe
handsome.
this is the year.
Maybe this is the year. Okay, so never mind on that lawsuit so far. All right. Let's talk about the people over at Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's not often where I am the biggest drinker on a podcast panel, but that happens to be the case here on News AF. I myself am not a connoisseur of the Pabst Blue Ribbon, but they did have a wild tweet this past week. A lot of people participate in something called Dry January, where it's like, hey, sort of like a diet where, hey, I did nothing. I ate so many sweets in December. I'm going to eat healthy in January. Same idea for Dry January. But the people over at Pabst Blue Ribbon, the official Pabst Blue Ribbon Twitter account.
Did they have a message for us?
Yeah, they did have a message for us. The message was, not drinking this January? ? Try eating ass.
Which is interesting because even though I am not a connoisseur of beer, I've heard.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I do.
I've heard that Pabst Blue Ribbon is a similar taste and maybe even texture.
And a requirement before the suggested activity.
Yes.
Mhm.
So they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So okay, cool.
Maybe.
And was there any blowback or backlash or?
So somebody responded on Twitter. An account called "My Mind Is Dangerous" responded, "PBR or ass?" ? What's the difference?
There you go. See, that's exactly.
Pabst Blue Ribbon came back and said, "Ask your mom."
Boom. Wow.
No.
Okay.
No, that did not. Rob, is that real?
Danny, I'll share this. I'll share the screen. Why would I make that up?
Wow. So this sounds
Great.
like they hired Wendy's social media
Yeah.
person, huh?
Look, first off, like they're like, how do we get people talking about Pabst? All right, first things first. Start with the tweet. Not
Okay.
drinking this January. Try eating ass. Okay, that'll get them talking.
That sure will.
And here they are on News AF. And then when this person responds, PBR or ass, what's the difference? They come back with the ask your mom.
Okay.
Are they in any way trying to say this was something else, like a typo, or are they just owning
Or a
this
hack
tweet?
or a disgruntled employee, or they're just
Mhm.
like, we are the.
This is who we are now.
monsters. Yeah, this is who we are now. I mean,
So they did delete the tweet. They have not responded to requests for comment.
okay.
My guess is
Okay.
that the person running the social media account was currently drinking Pabst
Mhm.
when they did that, and then when they gave the rebuttal.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
You think that's part of the job?
Yeah, you have to consume the product if you're going to pitch it.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think, if people are not drinking in January, I don't know necessarily if this message is going to help sell more Pabst Blue Ribbon, but it definitely did heighten the brand profile.
Yeah. I definitely
100%.
think they're cooler than they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were in the midst of typing asparagus and then just accidentally bumped send. And
Try
and extra
eating
ass.
asparagus,
Yeah, I don't know.
not drinking.
I'm giving them an out. It was not intentional. It's possible.
NC in the NC in the chat says those guys that calculate the equivalent marketing value of stuff like this probably put this at like a $5 million value in advertising, and the social media guy is now the CMO.
Yeah, and Pete says, Tyson, that person is now taking calls for Delta.
Yeah, I believe that, dude. Yeah, I also, I think so, because I did that, locked their chat lines up like I did, or tried to. When we got on the flight, they came to my aisle and were like, "Can you just tell us your name real quick, sir? Make sure you're in the right seat." And I was like, "Tyson," and they're like, "Okay." And then they proceeded.
It's him.
Yeah, they proceeded to skip me for all the services and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So all of Delta was conspiring against you?
All of Delta was all of Delta conspires against every passenger.
Wow.
It was
I have
very
to ask
blatant.
T-Bird about this.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Cover a story where a woman complained and then was thrown out for a hotel review that she had given. Do you remember that?
No.
Maybe we didn't talk about the story, but it was a story. A woman wrote a review while at the hotel and then was asked to leave after they saw the review while she was staying at that hotel. So it is possible that this does exist also in Delta, where Tyson got red flagged.
Yes.
And they put like pubes in his beverage and wiped the, boogers all over the place.
I believe that's what happened.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Just to go back to Pabst Blue Ribbon here, do you think that this message was that, hey, is like a shot at the people who were not drinking in January? Like, hey, not drinking this January? Try eating ass, loser.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. Yeah, they just the way that.
Try that instead. That's a better idea for you.
Yeah, fine. If you don't want to drink our beer, then why don't you just eat some ass? Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Shots fired.
I mean, either way, I still think it was going to have the results that it had.
Yeah,
but
regrets.
I don't think it was negative. I don't think it was negative for them.
I guess the question is the tweeter pro that
pro PBR
giving a very analingus, yeah.
I mean,
you know what? We'd have to get a hold of that guy or girl or whatever, and then ask them, because I don't want to make
that would change the whole dynamic. That would change the whole dynamic of the tweet. Like, hey guys, I discovered this great thing that
what also would help here? An emoji of that would help me spin this if it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
This is the crudest ever sent out by a major corporation. It does seem like it might be, if someone's going for the record, this might be it.
Like
if
there was like peach tongue thumbs up, that would help.
Yeah,
I guess, but I don't think we've ever covered a tweet quite like this. This seems like next level. Like they've decided 2022 that we're going to take it up a notch.
Yeah, this is
like in the tweet wars of restaurants and corporations.
Yeah,
we're pioneering the fact that now corporations, instead of masking a customer service style scenario, are just saying whatever they want to as the employees of that.
They can operate as, down here in the gutter with everybody else as well as anybody else can. Like,
by the end of this year, when I text Delta Airlines and complain about my flight, they'll say, "Why don't you eat ass, sir?"
That's what I'm saying.
And then they'll tweet my phone number out to their followers.
Yeah, they'll say here.
Like corporations used to try to have this kind of shine, this veneer of responsibility. And
that was 10 years ago, Danny.
Yeah, we all knew that was fake.
The fact that Pabst is tearing down this veneer is only fitting. That they're going to start the whole, like, pretty soon you'll be treated online, like Tyson said, by Delta, just like Pabst is treating its peeps.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world.
This is the new era of customer service where there's so many people on the planet that they don't care about your money.
Yeah.
And actually what Rob said, if you're not drinking Pabst, this tweet really does say, if you're not drinking Pabst, eat shiz. That's what it is. It's just said in a slightly different way.
Yeah. So their last two tweets, they've just gone back to the basics, are beer, and they retweeted them. So see.
They were testing the waters. A lot of people do this with their comments. They dip their toe.
A lot of the
like, "How was that received?"
responses to beer are about the previous tweet.
You can't forget that.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Okay. People are still talking about it. So that's what's going on over at PBR. Okay. One more story before we get to Danny's Bolt Hall. Did either of you catch over the weekend Matt Damon's new crypto.com ad?
I unfortunately
I've
never
seen it.
watched it, but
I think
I
I've
read
seen
about
it.
It aired during a lot of the NFL games over the weekend. I was like, what is this Matt Damon ad for? This is like, is he trying to get me to join the Air Force or something? That he is like going through like historical moments through history and says fortune favors the brave as he is showing about exploring space and the first flight and all sorts of things. But it's an ad for crypto.com where Matt Damon is one of the faces.
Wow. I bet that was a great pitch to receive during the Jets game.
Yeah. Yeah. It was better than a lot of the other things that happened in the Jet game.
Yeah. You know what? When I read this, a lot of people complaining about how awkward and cringy it was. But the truth is, Matt Damon is just trying to make money. And as another human,
just like investors in crypto.
Yes.
Yeah, as another human who also enjoys money, I can sympathize with Matt Damon. Because how many more good movies does he have in him? Probably none. Or maybe less than none. I don't know. What was the last good movie he was in?
What was the last good movie Matt Damon was in?
What was the last movie he was in?
Yeah, exactly. Normally, this is a job for Nicolas Cage, right? The guy pitching.
Okay.
It's interesting that Matt Damon might be becoming the new Cage.
Okay, so let's see. His last. Well, actually, these are his producer credits. Actor credits. 90 credits for Matt Damon, and most recently, he was in Ford versus Ferrari.
Yep.
I think he had a cameo in Deadpool 2.
Okay.
So let's just say his career isn't necessarily at its peak. Why not cryptocurrency commercials? Right? Why not?
True. There's a lot of money there right now.
Yeah. I mean, crypto.com, I think that they renamed the Staples Center crypto.com arena, right? Yeah, you could actually go to if you want to go there, you can check out Matt Damon the full commercial.
Wow.
It's no coincidence either that Nicolas Cage, his career is kind of having a resurgence, right? And so someone's got to fill that void of desperate actor needing money. And why not Matt Damon? I would do a cryptocurrency commercial. I mean, I don't have any star power.
Hear it.
Just off the top of my head, do you believe in things that aren't real? How about cryptocurrency? Want to make a fortune in the future? Not currently, but maybe in the future. Cryptocurrency. Want to travel to the moon? Well, tickets will be bought in cryptocurrency. How about a gallon of milk? Crypto. That's the future is here now. It's called crypto.
Tyson, are you buying any crypto off of Danny's commercial?
Nope. Well, maybe to support Danny just because he's a friend.
Want a gold-plated Lamborghini? Crypto.
Now you're speaking my language.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
How about this? Not buying crypto this month? Try eating ass.
Ooh.
Wow, is that a threat?
Crypto.com. Boom. You didn't even need Matt Damon.
You know what? That worked. I'm just going to get on my phone. Don't know how to buy it, but I'll buy some.
Got to get the crypto.com app.
I don't in any way begrudge Damon for this commercial. That just makes sense to me. Why not? Why not?
You've
probably got paid like $10 million.
You've always been a cheerleader of the wealthy and famous.
He probably got paid $10 million in Goop coin.
Goop coin?
It doesn't exist yet, but I'm sure that it's going to very soon. And it's going to shoot through the roof, and it'll be at like $70,000 a coin
And
Mhm.
then
within 2
tank.
days. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
according to Matt Damon.
Not according to Matt Damon. There's only
Mhm.
one way for crypto, according to Matt Damon, and that is up, up, up.
Yeah.
By the
and
way,
he's been to space.
Before accepting you telling me to plan for the future, I do want to see what's in your car when you take long interstate drives. Because if you open the car of Matt Damon, he had like flares, a first aid kit, space blanket, maybe some spare snacks.
You'd be
I
like,
would
I
take
trust
the
this guy.
commercial far more seriously. I'd be like, okay, this is a guy who plans for the future. I think this crypto stuff might be for me.
Okay. All right. Danny, are you ready to take us to your bolt hole this week?
The bolt hole's all backed up.
Oh, it
Yes?
is?
Is that bad?
About.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. He's got to dig it out
Okay.
with his
All
thumb.
right. Okay, here we go. Let's visit Danny and the bolt hole.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yes.
Mission.
Guys, you know
Okay.
what? If I was going to make an advertisement, my advertisement would be invest in Japan, the land of the future. I mean, not
Okay,
just
is it
the
go on.
80s. You know, because we talked about the Japanese working on a flavor pen. Remember that thing you held on
Yep,
your tongue and it
yep.
injected a mixture of flavors to recreate anything, even what Paps would want me to eat. So they've also come out with, and this is, I don't know how exactly this will work, but it is a nice concept, a lickable TV screen. They can imitate food flavors.
And is that
And
what
it's
we
weird to
need
me-
right now in today's climate and culture? Like going to the
No,
movies
you
and
don't
then
know you
everybody
need
takes
this
a
yet.
turn. Everybody takes a turn licking the movie
Well,
screen to get
Bryson,
the
you
fourth
started
dimension.
licking your phone.
Yeah, for a guy who licks his phone, exactly why this story has
But it's my
relevance.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could be the only one who licks your phone when it's squirting out flavors all day
Yeah.
long.
That's fine. Okay, sign me up. I'm in.
Okay, well, it appears like this could possibly be a thing. And as I said before, the flavor pen, they are way ahead over there. Everybody else is working on who knows what, metaverse, whatever. They're working on the things that matter, and that is flavor everywhere I turn. Like, imagine if this microphone was a flavor pen or a lickable
Oh, you'd be
microphone.
gobbling that thing
Yeah.
up.
No, that would sound gross on a podcast.
But he'd
Yeah, but
still,
who
but Danny
wouldn't
would
want
be
a
gobbling.
podcast, right?
Mhm.
Imagine
You'd
if my
have to do it in a
speed
way
bumps
where
were
you'd have to
lickable.
like sneak licks. Like,
Look, like I could easily lick this microphone and you wouldn't
it.
even know.
prove it.
Not
I'm not
podcasting
going
this
to.
month.
Lick
Yeah.
your microphone.
Try eating your microphone. Try chugging your microphone all the way down.
So anyway, this is just another thing. I mean, the TV, it doesn't really look like a TV. It looks more like a chair. It's hard to say. It's a very
So is it a chair or a
strange-looking
TV?
TV screen.
Yeah.
No,
do I
it's
sit in
like
it?
I think what they're trying to say is that it's a screen, right? It's like, see
I
that?
don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
See that lady licking?
Yeah,
Who knows if
but
that's the
anybody
actual
like
product?
Danny, I could come over
Yeah.
to your house right now and we could stage a lickable screen advertisement and be like, Danny and I did it. The first lickable, delicious screen that changes flavors. And everybody be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Danny and Tyson did D&T Enterprises did that.
But here's the thing. TVs, 8K, 10K, 100K, eventually they're going to hit a ceiling, right? What's the next thing to get you to buy an overpriced TV for the Super Bowl? Oh my gosh, the lower part of the Super Bowl TV, you can taste Dorito chips, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
you feel like the people don't have enough Doritos at the Super Bowl party?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just-
like this.
people continually need a reason to buy a new TV, and this isn't as dumb as like 3D TVs. Like a lickable screen has more uses than 3D for a TV.
Mm.
And remember when they curved all the screens of TVs, but they
Exactly.
didn't know which way to
TVs
curve
are
them?
the home of gimmicks because
They didn't know which way to curve them. You could get them curved either direction, and they're like, we don't know which is better.
Mhm.
Yeah,
TV
that was
uses a
cool.
carousel of 10 flavor canisters that spray in combination,
I'm
which is
out.
what we talked about before.
Yeah.
10 flavor
You're out?
canisters, and from those 10 flavor canisters, you can mix and match to create any flavor in the world.
The flavor sample then rolls on a hygienic film over a flat TV screen. Okay, so it's not really a TV screen. It's something that goes over a TV screen. It's
Mhm.
like It's like those gross. Remember when you used to go and they had toilet paper roll, or you dry your hands on that roller thing? Remember
Sure.
that weird?
Yeah. Yeah. That rolls out. Yeah. And
I
there was
never
always
did
like
it.
poo streaks in it and stuff.
Yes, I'd always just wipe it on my shirt. That's kind of what
Yeah.
this sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
This is
look, this is the future. Rob,
No,
Rob,
the
don't
few-
get away
this
with
is-
the future.
this is what's happening. Okay. Super Bowl 39 or whatever they're at right now. And it's like Tom Brady, Super Bowl. And then at the ad,
again?
he like lifts his arm and he's like, taste my armpit. And then people are like on their
Oh.
TV screen. That's like the full immersion of everything. They're like, smell the
Well,
football.
they're saying
taste the football, taste the armpit, taste my new water
applications.
drink.
for cooking, like teaching
What?
people.
Is
to
that where
cook.
Pabst Blue Ribbon is going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the outside of the can. Like
The outside of the can, they're going to
donkey
be,
ass.
yeah.
They didn't say what kind, so I'm just assuming donkey.
Yeah.
You think
Uh,
donkey?
So, look, this is just okay. Look, this is what bothers me when you guys are critical about emerging technology. All right, just because technology starts here doesn't mean that it's going to end up where it started. Right? The potential
Hey.
for licking surfaces is awesome, and it probably will
Wait.
show up at some point, and you'll love it. When you're
Orla
trapped
in
on
the chat,
I-95
though.
and you can lick your steering wheel for sustenance.
Orla in the chat has maybe there's a sinister reason behind this. Sounds like another way to track and clone people. Facial recognition, thumbprint access, now saliva sampling. Come on, Danny.
Yeah, are they trying to clone me?
Are you really worried about that?
No, I wish the world was filled with Tyson clones.
Then
I
you could
wish.
jam up
That would be Delta
like
Airlines'
100
worst
times
nightmare.
harder.
Yeah, sure would.
Mhm.
I'd probably get a job at Delta and bring them down from the inside. One of my clones would, not me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It would be terrifying to stumble upon a clone, an unknown clone.
Of
You're
you?
like, are you my doppelganger? And then
Have you ever seen
No,
Orphan?
it's an
Have you ever seen the
exact-
show Orphan Black?
no.
That's
what
exactly the
happens?
premise of Orphan Black. This woman starts finding clones of herself everywhere.
Well, that happens in that show with Tom Brady that Tom Brady does an appearance in.
Spoiler alert.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's with Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, that one. That's kind of the
Mhm.
same premise. Look,
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to clone you from your spit. Come on, technology never does anything sinister. So they just want to give you delightful flavors while you wait in traffic. You can
That's
sit there and
true.
lick this middle of your steering wheel.
Yeah, just take it for
and
face
be
value.
happy. Yeah, exactly. Don't question its motives. Just enjoy the lick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
You've tied it all together, Danny. All right. Anything else in the bolt hole this week?
There's tons, but I got to save it. What if it's dry January? It could be dry for good stories as well.
Drive to the
Nobody's
bolt hole?
drinking, so there's no stories. Nobody
Yeah.
flying Spirit. Because
Yeah,
nobody's
that's a good
drinking in
point.
January. Nobody flies Spirit Airlines, which then,
We're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
yeah.
Sure, half the Florida man stories are fueled by Pabst.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So no,
All right. Well,
I'm saving them.
Well done today. We've certainly, came out hot today for the first News AF of 2022.
We sure did. And remember,
Mhm.
join with me every day as we jam up Delta Airlines customer service text messaging services.
Mhm. All right.
Are you going to put
Dan-
together a team?
Yeah. Every morning I wake up and the first thing I do is join the line to join the customer service chat on Delta. And then I just leave it open all day long.
Do you still do it even when you're not flying?
I really should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Danny, what's coming up for you this week?
I'm just recovering from the sneeze into my face that my
Mhm.
wife did.
Mhm.
Is there a way to
so-
recover from that? Because I feel like emotionally
No,
you're
mentally,
probably
I'm still holding it against her.
Mhm. waiting to
but
sneeze
ho-
back in her face at some point, or what is the play here?
Yeah, hold it in.
That's true. What should I do? You know what? I'm going to work on that. Workshop vengeance. Look at this cough. This is from that sneeze.
I mean, I've got a few things. You could turn off the hot water heater in your house and just be like, I don't know what's going on.
Look,
yeah.
I'll figure something out. But for now, my body is trying to recover from that sneeze. And hopefully within a day or two, I'm sure I will be back at it. Skiing.
I hope you don't get in a prank war with your own wife.
I would never.
No.
Prank wars. They just escalate.
It's a zero
I already
sum
owe her
game.
Thank you, Rob. Zero sum. Liz pulled a prank early on in our marriage, and I never got her back, but I think about it at least once every month or two.
Wow, what is
Why?
the prank?
She threw cold water on me while I was in the shower.
And you
Is
can
that
never
a-
trust her again.
Is that a prank?
I've never gotten back, but I do think about the vengeance from time to time.
So she
Mhm.
threw
I just
cold
don't-
water up over the shower
Yeah.
curtain onto you.
Like Rob said, it just escalates, and then the next
Yeah.
thing you know, your house is on fire, and your children are
That'll show
screaming.
her.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how prank wars are fine with people who understand
Stand.
the
The lines.
decency of a prank, but the person who doesn't, you
Yep.
wake up and you're just like, my kidney's gone. They're like, nope, both of them. And you're like, oh my God, really? How? And they're like, just classic pranking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Just recovering.
you got to know who to get in a prank war with, because you do not want somebody who does not understand the lines because they've not been in prank wars before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
well, Danny, I'm excited for
Tyson,
you to
you?
exact your vengeance on your wife at some
Yeah.
point.
I'll
Do you
let
want
guys know.
listeners to send in ideas for payback, Danny?
No, I can't do the payback for the very reason I don't have a sense of humor that works that way. I just get angry.
Mhm.
So no, I just got to let it go.
It sounds like you can't.
I can't let it go, but I don't have to have it carry on. So
Mhm.
I'll just hold this until it builds up as like a stroke
Uh-huh.
later in
Mhm.
my life, and then it'll
Like,
the
are you
joke on her
thinking-
is her taking care of me.
Are you thinking about this prank when you're in a shower by yourself? You're like, oh, I want to be comfortable right now, but you never know
can't.
when.
I live in
Yeah.
fear. Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Yes.
Yeah. In the shower with one eye open.
Always.
Mhm.
It's got to.
All right.
Well,
Tyson, what's coming up for you this week?
got Pickle Pod coming up on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, nothing. Just it's like slow season right now as we're just gearing up for 2022.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
How about you,
it's
Rob?
it's a little slower over here with the podcasting. We are going to be doing some fun stuff though this week. The Amazing Race is back Wednesday
I saw
night.
that.
So we're going to have some coverage of the new season of The Amazing Race. We're going to have a bunch of the Rob's Podcast podcasters are playing a live Mafia game tonight at 7. We're going to have some fun times figuring out who's in the Mafia. And
That's
then
fun.
I'm going to watch Joe Millionaire this week.
Ooh, that'll be
talk
fun.
about
Oh, yeah.
New Joe
So exciting.
Millionaire. One Joe is rich, one Joe is poor.
We love that idea.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking to Taryn tomorrow morning on his show.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a big deal.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's probably the highlight of my career thus
Mhm.
far.
Yeah.
So
You're
looking forward to
peaking.
that.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. Watch me peak.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for checking out News AF here this week. We'll be back again live next Tuesday. Hope you can join us then. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.